Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to music class. I'm so happy to see you here. Today, I'm going to show you another awesome website where you can create your own music. Let's get started. Today, we're going to start by reviewing the difference, la diferencia, between rhythm, ritmo, and melody, melodia. After we talk about the difference between those two things, we're going to explore this new website which is called Songmaker. Our two goals for today are I can describe the difference between rhythm and melody, and I can make a song on Songmaker. Let's get started. So, we have two big concepts in music. These are two of our fundamental building blocks in music. The first, which you are very familiar with, is rhythm. Rhythm, which is Spanish is ritmo, means the patterns of long sounds, short sounds, and silence. So for example, in the bottom right here, we've got some different rhythms. This is our quarter note, which we also know as a ta, and that has one sound, and it's not very long. It's only one beat. Next to it over here, we've got a half note, which we also call a ta, which is one sound, but two beats. Ta. We talked about a lot of these rhythms last week. Again, a ticka ticka has four sounds. Sh is a silence, it has no sound, a rest. And here we've got two sounds, a tt, also known as 2/8 notes. So rhythm, it's all just either it's happening or not. I can put rhythms up different parts of my body. I could speak a rhythm, ta, tt, ta, ta. But there is an idea of what's a high or low in rhythm. That comes in when we talk about melody. Melody, or melodia in Spanish, means the different patterns of low and high sounds. So on the left here, I put our scale. This is our full scale, all 8 notes. And I've started with do, and I've ended with high do. And so I can make a pattern out of these. So I could sing my whole scale, for example. I could sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Going from low to high. I can go back down, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I can make a different pattern. Maybe my pattern matches a song that we know. What song could I pick? Oh, I'm blanking. The song Taidyo I've been doing in 3rd grade. Mi, so, do, so, la, mi, re, do. For example, you can make different songs using these patterns of high and low pitches. And when you combine melody with rhythm, that's when we get those songs. So melody by itself is just sort of high and low sounds. The rhythm tells us how long each one happens. So it's not always the same length. So not always do, re, mi, so, fa, la. It's not just steady. You have to add the rhythm so we can get different lengths, different amounts of sound. So to review again, rhythm, ritmo, patterns of long sounds, short sounds, and silences. And melody, melodia, patterns of low and high sounds. When we combine this together, that's when we get those songs. And our new website, Songmaker, from Chrome Music Lab, allows us to combine melodies, low and high sounds, and rhythms. So let's open that up and click on the link. And here we are. So this is what Songmaker looks like. It might look a little bit different on your tablet or phone if you're using one of those. Might be a little bit smaller, but I'll show you how we can make it the same size as mine as well. Songmaker is really versatile. There's a lot of things you can do. The most basic is you can add notes. So see all these little boxes? Each time you click on one of those, you will add a note. Notice they're all different colors. If I go from the bottom and I go up in a little line, here, the notes get higher, and I can even go higher again. If we hop back to our scale here, you can see that the colors here actually match the colors here. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and it keeps going with the upper octave. Re, mi, fa, sol, la. Remember that we can go above or below with the same notes. It just gets higher or lower. It just repeats. So for example, those match up. So you can actually think about, well, what's my pattern going to be, and what are these just notes? So I could, for example, go, I'm going to click the restart button. Do, do, re, re, mi, sol. So any pattern that you can think of in solfege, for example, oops, you can play here. One of the recorder songs I was doing with some classes was Starlight. Starlight, star bright. You can do all sorts of things and recreate songs that you might know. If I want to do Twinkle, 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 little star. You might have to play around with it to hear exactly what the notes are going to be, but if there's a song, you can probably create it in SongMaker. After you put down the notes, at the bottom here, you can add some extra rhythm, some percussion. This bottom is like the bass sound, and that's our sort of snare or hi-hat. Sounds more like a snare. If you think about when we're using Groove Pizza, then this bottom would be like the bottom, the outside ring, and this next one would be the inside, or the next inside ring, the middle ring. So any rhythms you did there, you can make here. They're just going to be in a line and not in a circle. One thing that I haven't shown you yet is that if we let this play out, you can see it keeps going. And when it gets to the end, it will repeat. If you have a smaller screen because you're on a tablet, it'll probably repeat sooner, but I'll show you how you can make your pattern longer, your song longer, so it won't repeat as much. You can add more before it repeats. You can also, like we did in Groove Pizza, change how it sounds. So right down here it says marimba, that's the instrument sound it's playing right now. Let's change it to piano, hear what that sounds like. Okay, how about this one? Strings. So for those in orchestra, you might recognize that they're plucking the string, it sounds like. They're not bowing. And finally, woodwind. Oh, one more, synth, which is a little loud. Maybe a little intense for me, but maybe you like it a lot. And then we're back to marimba. Down here, this will change the sounds of our percussion, our bass drum and the snare. So I could go to blocks. That's sort of hard to hear. Let me get rid of this. So we can do that, for example. What does that sound like? Go to a drum kit. Conga. And then we're back to electronic. So you can change, again, the sounds that you have here and pair them with your melody. What does that sound like? That's a thought. So as you can see here, you can have multiple notes in one spot if you want, sort of a chord. A chord is whenever we have a lot of notes at once. And sometimes they're chords that are 3 notes. For example, if I play this a couple times, you can see it sounds nice. I could make it little more crunchy, having a 7th chord like this. So you can experiment with maybe what sounds that are next to each other. That would sound interesting. So you can play around with how your melody is. Let's find out. So what else? Tempo. We had a tempo slider in Group Pizza. If you slide this up or down, it's going to change how fast your composition is. So again, tempo means the speed of the music. So for example, if I do this, it'll slow down. If I go back up here, it'll go real fast. Whew. I'm going to go back to where I was before. 120, or just about. It's close enough. So, I told you before that if your page didn't look quite like this, I could show you how to, let me just put something back up here. I could show you how to make it longer or shorter. So for example, there's down here is our settings button. When you click on that, it brings up a page here. I think you can see everything. We're going to focus on the left side of this page today. The first thing, length, is how long your composition is. When I tried Group Pizza on my phone, my length is only 2 bars, 2 measures. So it means it's shorter. And when it's on the computer here, it automatically is longer. To be honest, I'm not sure exactly what it will be on your tablet, but you can change it here, making it longer, shorter. So maybe I want to make it mine longer. If I do that, and I click on the check mark to save my changes, you'll see my little slider pops up here. And I can slide over by clicking and dragging, which you can do with your finger on the iPad, to get to more space for music. You'll also know I have a slider here to go up and down. And if you are on an iPad, you don't have that slider, you can add it by going to range, and it might say 1 octave. I think it goes that way on my phone. You could change it to 2 octaves by adding, or even 3 if you wanted to, which change how much space there is this way. For example, just to show you, I could go up to 3 octaves. It seems like the most, and that could have high notes all the way up here. So I can go from low all the way up to high. So I just restarted, so I've got everything back to normal. So we have our length. That's how long the composition is. Beats per bar, that means how many beats are in your measure. When you're working Group Pizza, we had 16 sounds, and we talked about 4 beats in a measure. Here the default, what you already have, is 4 beats. But you could change it, like we changed the slices in your Group Pizza, to maybe 3 beats. What would that sound like? Notice how the measures are slightly different colors. So this white, each of these is 1 beat. These big slices here, vertical slices. Then is sort of gray, that's our second beat. Second measure, rather. Third measure, fourth measure. If I change it back, you can see that there are now, let's see if we go back to 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4 slices in our first measure, and then we go to the gray, 1, 2, 3, 4 slices in our first measure. Each slice is a beat, and right now our beats are divided into 2. So we've got 1, 2. In Group Pizza, we were dividing into 4, so we could have ticka-tickas. So if I go to settings, I could also do split beats into 4. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 before my first line to signify the next beat. And if I do that, it sounds very quick. So I go ticka-ticka. Sounds like ticka-ticka. If I want a TT, I just like Group Pizza, I move every other one. TT. Ta would just be the first beat. So you can make different rhythms like we've done in Group Pizza, now adding pitch here. So this would be ta, 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 ta. If I add every other one, that's T, 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 T. If I completely fill it out, when I've got 4 beats, 4 sounds in a beat, ticka, 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 ticka. So you can play around with these settings if you want. I'm going to go back to the default, which is 2 beats per measure. So if you want to make your composition longer or shorter, if you want to add higher notes, if you want to make different subdivisions, that means how many sounds are each beat, if we went up to 4, for example, you would do that in this settings page. The last thing I need to show you is how to save your composition. So let's say because I can't think of anything else right now, I'm going to go to Twinkle Twinkle. Maybe I want to add some harmony, so that means adding multiple notes in the same sounds, the same space. So I'm adding 2 notes in this sound. So let's hear what that sounds like. That sounds nice. We want to add some, just a simple track. That would be kind of cool. I'm going to change it to drum kit, and maybe we'll change this to strings. What would that sound like? So then if I wanted to save it, I have to go down to the bottom right here and click this Save button. Once I press that, you should see this page pop up. It says your song is saved at this link. And you click Copy Link here to add that to your clipboard. And then if I wanted to go somewhere else, which you will do in your exit ticket, you can paste it. For example, I can just show you here. If I'm on a computer, I can right-click and click Paste, which will show me that, again, that song. And if I go there, then my song will appear again. So that is how you share. And I'm going to review that in just a second when we talk about our exit ticket. So speaking of your exit ticket, I have showed you basically all of the tools you need to make your own song on SongMaker. Again, add a melody, add some rhythm in the bottom here, add some percussion. You could change up how it sounds, you can change the tempo, you can even make it longer or shorter, or change the number of sounds in a beat or how many beats are in a measure. All these things you can change and play around with in SongMaker. So going back to our lesson here, let's look at our wrap-up. So as always, you have an exit ticket and an assignment on Flipgrid. So let's look at your exit ticket first. I'm going to pull up our lesson page here. Make myself in the corner. So you've already watched lesson video. Next thing is complete your exit ticket by clicking on the link to the SongMaker Week 1 exit ticket here. And there's the form. Here is your exit ticket. Just like the weeks before, write your name, and then I want you to define the 2 things we talked about. What is rhythm? What is melody? Again, what is rhythm? Type your answer here. Maybe I say rhythm is, I'm not going to give the answer. You can go watch the video again if you want. Melody is, and then it says create your own song on SongMaker. Go to SongMaker by clicking this link. I'm going to click on the link. That brings me to SongMaker. It will open up in another tab, hopefully, and you'll be able to work with it. I've already got my song here, and I clicked Save Before. So here is my link. Once you save it, once you make your song, again, click on this link to save. So I click on the button to save, and then click where it says Copy Link. I show you that again here. When you finish with your song, click the Save button. Looks like this. Then click where it says Copy Link. Again, this is where I'm showing you here. Once you've copied it, then again, it's on your clipboard. So I can go back over here, and it says, finally, paste the link to your song here. So I'm going to put my cursor there. And since I'm on a computer, I can right-click and paste. If you are on a tablet or a phone, you can either long click and then it'll pop up paste. Or I learned that if you're on the DOE iPads, that when you put your cursor there, your keyboard pops up, and in the left above the keyboard, maybe like above where the W is, there's a little button that is the paste button. So if you click that, that should paste it. Then I'm gonna say, what's the name of my song? I guess I used Twinkle Twinkle, so I'll say Twinkle, Twinkle Reimagined, or something. And you can give a name to your song. Then, oh, I forgot to give my name, put the name at the top. It's gonna tell me. There we go. So, when you've done all these parts, then it says click submit. It says your exit ticket has been recorded. Once you've done this once, you don't need to do it again. I have gotten your exit ticket. Make sure you also submit a video on Flipgrid. Click here to go to the Flipgrid assignment. And look, there's a link. When you click on the link, that will take you to the Flipgrid page. Here's what the Flipgrid page looks like. You want to click Login with Google. When you do that, it'll say, do you want to log in with Google? You say Continue. This will pop up, and you should see your name already here. Again, if you don't, you want to enter your NYC student's email and your username and password, and then log in. Mine's already there. I can click on my name, and I'll be logged in right away. Here's your assignment. Songmaker Week 1. This should say May 20th. I'll fix that. Tell me about the composition you made in Songmaker. How is making a song in Songmaker different than making a groove in Group Pizza? What was the same? Which do you prefer? Which do you like better? So I want you to basically tell me about your process. Did you like it? What was different? What was the same? And you start recording by clicking here. Then this will pop up. Let's see if I can get this to use my other camera. Nope, okay. Whew. Trouble here, guys. So then you click the record button down here to record. You can see my face. Say, I like Songmaker a lot. It's different than Group Pizza because I can add melody. When you're happy, you click next. You can listen to it. Click next. Take a selfie. Click next. Then you can submit your video. Once you submit your video, it says your video will be visible when it's approved. That means I have to look first to make sure everybody's videos are okay before anybody else sees them. So notice it says video submitted. Your video will be hidden until approved by your educator, which is me. So don't worry about it. You don't need to record multiple videos. Once you do it, if you see this, that means you're good. I will see it. I will approve it, assuming it's fine. And then you can, it'll be up here. You don't need to send it to me any other way. As long as it's here, that's fine. If you have trouble with Flipgrid, let me know. I was helping a lot of students this week already log into Flipgrid. So let's go back to our assignment page. Let's review. We did part 1, watch the video, which is now. Part 2, complete your exit ticket, do the forum. Part 3, do your Flipgrid video. And finally, click Mark as Done, so I know you've completed the assignment. One more thing that I forgot to mention. If you want to share your composition in Songmaker with your classmates, you can put it in the class comments. I'm on the assignment page here, and if I scroll down, here are the class comments. And I can add a class comment. That means everybody else can see it. So I'm in here, I can paste it, but again, if you're on your iPad, you put your cursor there and you press the button. The paste button sort of looks like, again, a clipboard with a piece of paper on it. And then I can post it. Then if people can see it, they can listen to your composition, and they can leave you a comment here below in the class comments. So if you want to share your composition with other people, that's how you do it. When you're done here, do your exit ticket, play around with Songmaker, make something you're happy about, share the link with me. If you want, you can post it in the class comments on this post so other people will see it. Then, Flipgrid video. Tell me what's similar or different to working with Group Pizza. Which do you like more? How did it feel? I want to hear from you. I want to hear your voice. Okay. Let's sing our goodbye song. And after we sing that, I hope you'll finish your assignment. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Now it's time to go. We've been singing and playing all the day. Until tomorrow we must say. Now it's time to go. Bye, everybody. See you next time.